Tracy, I'm sad to say we only have two more episodes, if you will, in our work through the Proverbs. And we started a couple of weeks ago talking about, in this Proverbs chapter 30, that there are some things that are exceedingly small, but exceedingly wise on the earth. Many of you feel that way, but guess what? The Bible is full of David and Goliath, Joseph and Pharaoh, Abraham and again Pharaohs of his time, and then obviously Jesus and the whole religious system, Paul and all the Gentile world. We get the David and Goliath thing all the time. It's part of our journey. We find ourselves being in places where we may be small, but if we're wise, we can accomplish extraordinary things. One of those that we're going to talk about this week are the locusts. And that sounds strange. How are the locusts wise? Well, listen, in this way, the locusts, though they have no king, verse 27 of chapter 30, yet all of them go out in ranks. Now, one of the things that I know you've seen, I want you to talk about it a little bit. Some of the most incredible people, and I'll give a few examples as well, that I've watched successfully combat tour lifestyle are very regimented. They're not fly by the seat of your pants, folks. Describe that a little bit.
Yeah, well, golf, you have to be very self-disciplined in order to succeed because it's not a team sport like we've been talking about. And so if I want to get better, I have to self-discipline myself to get out there, do the work, spend the time. And I would say out on tour, the ones that really are successful are able to do that without all those other people around. And so they have their practice time, they have their practice schedules, they have their workout time, they get enough sleep. They're not out, partying late at night. They know what they need, and they follow through day in and day out.
And that's the key. Day in, day out, day in, day out. These locusts, evidently, they come in when they're about to overtake something, and they come in, they're moving in perfect rank, as if there's something guiding them like a king, and yet there's no king to lead them. And so this self-discipline you're talking about is huge, and you see it in the best. You see it in whether it be in the workplace, whether it be with your golf, or whatever, you just see. Now, obviously, the application in the spiritual realm is easy because once you come to Jesus, it's not just about you trying to follow the rules and regulations. It's about you being led by a king through the Holy Spirit. One of the things that's most amazing to me through the years is that when everybody begins to walk into their calling, it's as if we're moving in perfect rank, whether it be a church, whether it be your Links Fellowship, whether it be your whatever community you're in a spiritual community. If people are being led by the Spirit and listening, then the Spirit is saying, okay, you go do that, and now you go do this, and then here, I want you to spend some time doing this over here. You call that person, you go handle that. And what happens is, as a leader in various parachurch and a regular church, I am constantly amazed. I'm just like, how did this all come together like this? We have no king. Well, wait a minute. We do have a king, just not a visible king. And that Holy Spirit guiding us in rank is awesome. And when things seem to be discombobulated, are we sensitive to our leading of the Holy Spirit? And we're not looking like locusts. We're looking like, I don't know what. Things running like crazy. Everybody going every which way. We've got to be led by the Spirit, and we have to be led. There's a certain self-discipline and internal voice maybe. In golf, we wouldn't maybe apply it to the Spirit, but an internal voice that just guides you. Okay, you need to do this because, like I said, it's not an NFL team or a NBA team or a WNBA team. It's okay, you meet at the bus at 6 o'clock, and we're going to do this, and we got training here, and then we're going to eat this, and this is what you're going to eat, and here's what we're going to do. And there's none of that in golf, is there?
Yeah, and I think what I'm hearing you say too is it's like I'm not called to do your job, and you're not called to do my job. And so if we're following the Spirit's lead, then I only am responsible for what He's telling me.
That's all I can be responsible for, right?
And it's really like that in golf too. Like I can't do your practice, or I can't practice the way that's best for you. I need to practice what's best for me.
Right. Does it work? And it certainly works in the golf sense. It has to work, or it doesn't work at all. But in the spiritual sense, it works as well. Are you part of a community? Are you part of, locusts? They fly in rank. Are you flying in rank with it? With anybody? Can you identify a group that you feel called to fly in rank with, and then are you listening to the Spirit? Most people are just mavericky in our culture, and they do everything they can do to not be dependent or have anybody dependent on them. They just do everything to get free of that, and yet, boy, you're missing out on an incredible part of life and productivity to the glory of Jesus.
I love that.
It's a powerful thought, isn't it? So, unfortunately, next week is our last week that we'll be coming to you, but we're going to look at something, and we're going to look at a little bit more about your individual calling, something we alluded to today. Can't wait to see you next week.